Everyone wants delicious, sweet, juicy tomatoes, but most of us aren't successful in achieving that because it's not just about water and sunshine. I've grown tomatoes for about 20 years now, and I have the top 10 factors to allow you to grow the sweetest, most delicious tomatoes. I want to make sure you hear our number one reason, so stick around to the end. Number 10 is pick sweet varieties. This is the factor that sets the tone for your whole season of tomato growing, so do a little research into what's the characteristics of the tomato you're going to plant. The absolute sweetest tomatoes I've ever tasted are little cherry tomatoes, which tend to be the sweetest. Sun Gold and Sun Sugar. When you taste those, you'll know what makes tomatoes really tasty, and that's the sugar content. We're in Oscar's garden here in Fresno, California. This year he's growing Whopper, Crimson Carmelo, and Beefsteak. Number 9, 6 to 8 hours of full sun. Your tomatoes might be getting sun, but do they get enough sun? That's really an important factor with sweet tomatoes. So 6 to 8 hours is quite a bit. Try to arrange your planting spot so that they'll get that much. Number 8, timing is everything. You need to plant after the last frost, but as soon as possible. The sooner you can plant and not be impacted by frost, the better. March 15th is considered kind of the magic date. Oscar planted these on March 20th. They're doing fantastic. We got lots of tomatoes. If you want to get even a bigger jump on it than waiting till March 15th in our area, you can plant them earlier, but you need to use frost caps or something so that you protect them from the lows. Number 7, improve the texture and the tilth of your soil so that you have excellent drainage. You're much more subject to pests and diseases if you have standing water in your garden. We want to create a garden where water percolates through your soil profile easily and quickly. If you need more information on how to accomplish better tilth and texture, our number 1 way to grow sweet tomatoes addresses this issue more thoroughly. Number 6, maintain consistent but not constant moisture. Excess moisture makes more leaf growth and less tomato growth. That upper layer of soil should always be almost dry before you water again. Many people like to water every day. Don't do that. The tomatoes will bear better and be much sweeter if that soil is allowed to drain thoroughly. Number 5, use sturdy cages or trellises for all-season support. That all-season is important because they tend to get heavy as you get fruit on them and as the plants get big. A lot of the varieties of tomato plants can get very large. If you just shop at a Home Depot, the types of tomato supports they sell aren't adequate and don't work. After about the first month, the tomatoes are knocking over your support. So something like what Oscar has done here with these cages that he made himself, and then he makes them sturdy with these lodgepole stakes. Number 4, make sure your soil has adequate calcium. We like to look at about a 7-to-1 ratio between calcium and magnesium. The only way you're going to know that is if you do a soil test, and I'm not saying you have to do a soil test. If you have some problems with blossom end rot, which a lot of tomato growers do, it is because the plant either doesn't have enough calcium because there's not enough calcium in the soil, or because the plant isn't uptaking it. Gypsum is one way to apply calcium to your soil. If you know you have kind of a slightly low pH, you can use lime. And if you want to lower your pH a little and add calcium, you would use soil sulfur. Number 3, for how to grow the sweetest tomatoes, make sure you allow them to ripen on the vine. Ripe tomatoes have a beautiful color depending on what varieties you've selected. And then a little bit of give in the tomato. You can feel them on the vine. Number 2, cut back on the water as you think your tomatoes are very close to ripening. The idea is if you reduce the water uptake, but the plant keeps producing glucose and fructose, and the tomato keeps producing that as it ripens, then those are more concentrated instead of diluted by water. And the number 1 way to grow the sweetest tomatoes, infuse your soil with life, attractants for life, and food for life. This is the way to change everything about your soil and create soil that feeds tomatoes and plants in general in a way that allows them to grow the best possible fruit. products like compost, earthworm castings, biochar, ground basalt, humic acid, fish fertilizer are good for soil. Our products utilize a lot of the ingredients I just listed, and we do it in a way that's convenient and easy to use. That's why our product called Blend is great for tomatoes, and our product called Penetrate Liquid Biotiller is fantastic to spray over, say, once a month. Oscar on these plants applies Penetrate Liquid Biotiller twice a month, feels that it really helps with the health of the plant, the lack of pest and disease, and the sweetness of the tomatoes. So that's our top 10 list for today from our headquarters in Fresno, California. Which of the top 10 lists surprised you? Please leave it in the comments below. Please subscribe to our channel and we'll give you more gardening tips throughout the summer and every season. If you know a tomato grower or tomato lover, share this video with them.